I like the fact that a mannequin was used because it's an alternative, not so used way. And I think it fit the song perfectly, really.
Um, I like the way that you edited the video so it worked in the beat of the music, and I think it went really well.
Personally, I did like the effect, sort of that sort of vintage effect that was put over.
Okay, yeah.
I think sometimes the camera went a little bit out of focus, but it was only a couple of times, and it just made it a little bit hard to view. But other than that, it was fine.
Thank you.
I think the album cover is really original, and it's relevant to the song of the alternative rock genre.
I like the use of negative space, sort of, that gives you an opportunity to put like text strategically. It's got a good placing. I like that aspect of the album cover. Yeah, I think sort of poster was a bit too minimalistic.
Yes, I think that the use of the mannequins clever because alternative alternative rock is kind of usually associated with the youth and teens and that kind of culture is quite everyone's like can I use the word banter?
Yes.
I don't know,
yes, you can.
Everyone's kind of always about banter and kind of jokes, and I think the way that you kind of used the parody of the mannequin fitted well to that.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think generally sort of you get the classic sex and drugs and rock and roll kind of thing. I think it's just funny that in the music video it kind of parodies that. In fact, it's kind of a love story, but not because it's got with an inanimate object with a mannequin rather than a man and a woman or two men or whatever you like these days.
I think it also reflects the modern subculture because we didn't really have in the subculture of the old of skinheads and punks and stuff. We have people who are kind of more hipstery and eat Domino's pizza, and I think it's well reflected in the video.
I think it was because but the section with the projections in the chorus, I think when you were filming it, you mentioned that the projector, when you were you're trying to get the backgrounds to change in the beat of the song, but you were doing it manually, so the computer kept lagging, which kind of meant they were out of time. So when you went to edit them, it was quite hard to get them back into time. So I think maybe you could have considered filming them separate shots.
Well, in some of the shots, I thought the exposure was a bit off and it kind of left it a bit washed out. I think that kind of took away some of the effect from some of the shots.
I mean, I think, well, I like the editing on the actual narrative part of the video. On a few performance sections where he's singing and lip syncing, the lip syncing sometimes a little bit off, and the pacing of that is not as fast paced as as the song. So it's kind of slow cuts, which loses the impact of that and the energy.
I think you used a 4-person all-male band, which was clever because that's exactly like Capturing the Bottom Men, but obviously you had to call them Peter and the Purple Walls and they used your friends. And that worked really well. I liked the kind of motifs of the fag butts on the guitar. Again, I think that just links really well to the kind of style and genre of the indie rock genre.
Thank you.
Yeah, I quite like the fact that there's sort of continuity between the post and the digipack because that sort of you know, it kind of works together and they kind of promote each other. So people will see one of them and then they'll instantly know sort of what it is, and that's good for like creating a sort of like a brand image around the band.
Identity.
Thank you.
I also think the images used are really like a striking image which stands out. Like you could have just had a picture of a guitar, but having the fag butts on it kind of makes it really stand out. I think that makes it more striking, and it's also really well done and a lovely shot.
In the video and the ancillary tasks, although like not direct, they kind of work really well together. Yeah, I just think that they work well as a package, and overall very professional. You like used really good fonts, and you had like good editing technique, and you got to grips with Photoshop, even though that was something that's quite difficult for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I quite like sort of the fact that in the ancillaries particularly it's quite sort of minimalist. It's not really, you know, overly cluttered, so it just doesn't really distract you. It's not too distracting. Like it's just simply focused on like the pictures, and like it doesn't distract you in any other way. So I thought that was quite a nice feature.
Thank you.
And with the ancillary tasks, particularly the album cover and like the digipack, I could see that like on a shelf. I wouldn't like see it sticking out and going, that's not real. A media student's made that, because there does tend to be a difference between media student DVD covers and stuff and proper ones. However, with the film, although it's not necessarily entirely your fault, it's not of high quality as the real music videos, because it's not got the same budget or the same production values as many of them, which kind of lets it down a bit. But I don't think that's anything to a reflection of video and like narrative and stuff, which I think is really strong. I think that's just a reflection of the kit and the stuff you had available to you when making it.
Okay, thank you.